Gabrielle, WABC on the marijuana question. Welcome to the Savage Nation from New York City. What's on your mind?
Thank you for taking my call. I want to say I'm a big fan. I am a marijuana smoker. I'll give you a little background on myself. I'm a hedge fund portfolio manager out of New York City.
Well, you're certainly not getting my money, but go ahead.
I don't know. I'm pulling about 25% return, so maybe you should.
But you're saying you're pulling what, 25% a year, you said?
25% returns on the money.
And do you feel it's because of the marijuana that gives you the insights?
Absolutely not. I never smoke during the day. I smoke in the evenings. However, I have a very high stressful job, managing hundreds of millions of dollars. And, when I come home at night, I'm married, I have 3 children, it helps me. I never smoke in front of my children or my wife, but, it's a decent...
Well, there's 2 questions in play here, Gabrielle. One, I can't confirm that you're really a hedge fund manager. I'll take you on your word. The issue is not marijuana per se, it's smoking it in public because of the secondhand smoke. Surely, as a logical thinker, you have to agree with me that it's offensive and potentially harmful to people who are sensitive to the smoke. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I agree with that 100%. I agree with that.
That's all. See, that's what I'm trying to get at. What I don't like about the marijuana legalization community is that they're stepping on common sense. First, they got everything they wanted. Now they're saying you should be required to inhale my secondhand smoke, and I'm saying hell no, we won't blow.
So I think there's an alternative to that.
Yeah.
I think that, like in many European countries, there are red light district areas or certain areas where that will be tolerable. Where if you're going to an area like that, you're going with the understanding that this is what occurs over here, and don't expect anything different. I'm not going to say to you that it's right to smoke in front of a school or a park or anywhere else that someone will find it disturbing. But
let me tell you, Gabrielle, you do know that marijuana smoke is highly carcinogenic. You know that, don't you?
So is eating a steak. Everything is...
Well, hold on. No, don't. Well, I'll say 2 wrongs make a right. And 2 carcinogens are better than 1.
Listen...
You're dealing with an Aristotelian logician, so you're not saying that it's a good thing to add carcinogen to carcinogen. In fact, co-carcinogens often augment each other's toxicity. For example, many people smoke tobacco, drink alcohol, and individually there may be some toxicity to either of those activities, but together they are, let us say, manifold or multiplied by 4 to 6 times. Well-known established fact, smoking and drinking alcohol 4 to 6 times more carcinogenic than either smoking or drinking by themselves. So marijuana is a potent carcinogen that you should be aware of, the side effects, the dangers. I want to ask you something about this. Alcohol is water-soluble, and although people may wake up with a hangover, they remove the toxins in their urine. Marijuana, as you well know, is fat-soluble and sits in your system for about 30 days. So you're always high, basically.
That's not true. You're not always...
Gabrielle, that's a medical fact. You say you smoke at night and you don't smoke during the day. You are high 24 hours a day. That is a medical fact. In other words, you're in a subdued high during the day while you're working, but you can't wait to get home to get back to your regular high. I'm just telling you, you're addicted to marijuana. Now, what it does for you is interesting. Does it make you calm? Is that what you're saying? It's a sedative?
Yeah, it definitely. I would classify it as a sedative. You have a.
Well, you sound like an intelligent man, but I will tell you that there is a significant percentage of the population that have overt psychotic episodes from marijuana, from the THC of marijuana. It's the equivalent of an LSD experience for them. You're not one of those people, but there are people for whom marijuana will provoke a psychotic episode. The emergency rooms are filled with people checking in who have gone hysterical simply from smoking marijuana. You're not one of those people, and there are people who can smoke without such effects. And so you should be aware that there's a great variation in effects of marijuana. And your children, do they know you smoke marijuana?
My children are ages 3, 4, and 2.
Okay, then one last question. You don't even have to answer it on the air. When your children become of conscious age, would you tell them marijuana is something that you do and recommend that they do it when they're able to do it?
tough question. It's
All right, and I don't want to put you on the spot. We don't know each other, but I'm sure you've thought about it.
I'm going to give you an honest answer, and I'm going to tell you no. I'm very against teenagers smoking marijuana. I think that it definitely, it kills your motivation to a certain extent. I think
Thank you. That's why they're called slackers. That's number one. How can you study a law book if you're stoned? How can you study a medical textbook if you're stoned? How can you study a chemical engineering report if you're stoned? How can you learn to fly a plane if you're stoned? I don't understand the psychosis in this country where people think this is a benign drug.
100%. So that's why there should be age restrictions on it. I think it should be a 21 plus. I think that.
So when you're a hedge fund manager, are you picking stocks? What are you doing as a hedge fund manager?
I do a lot of IPO work. I fund startups.
All right, so you're a social type of personality. You're not you're not really an analyst. You are bringing people together. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
All right, so that's a whole different, subset of skills, and that's a very important skill, very high level skill. And marijuana could probably play a very good role in that world in which you live, because probably most of the guys you're dealing with are stoned.
No. I mean, listen.
Are you kidding me? You're bringing people together in a younger age bracket. Most of them are potheads. But so you're not doing stock analysis in plain English, because I was wondering how you could do that if you're high.
I do stock analysis as well. I mean, it's not the main thing that I focus on. But no, I don't work. I never work high. I can't. You're right.
So let me ask you about something about stocks. If you were going to generalize about the market, and no one could do that because if they could, everyone would be predicting. Would you say that investing in Asian stocks or European stocks is a good bet for 2014?
It's hard to predict.
Oh, now you're playing rabbi with me. Now you're not giving an answer. That's good. That's good. Shows you're very good at what you do. Are you sure you don't work for the Obama administration?
Definitely not. Absolutely.
All right. Look, you're a very good-natured person, and I truly appreciate a logical discussion about any topic, including this topic, Gabriel. And I thank you very much for being a loyal pothead and listener to this, to this Nation.